The floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. We're here to open the Board of Assessors meeting of August 9th, 2022. Our first order of business was the approval of the previous minutes.
That we approve the meeting minutes of the last meeting.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passed. Taken or unit?
I am next, and I know I talked about something on your sheet, but I got one says. Yeah. Good morning.
Morning.
We have some homestead approvals for you, and as I stated before, is once the notices go out and people see that their homestead is not on there, they come out the woodworks and bring all of their documents that are needed to get approved. So we have about, looks like 9 homesteads that have been approved due to the documents have been provided as requested. We have one that was received an error, the first one due to a mailing address change. So we're putting that back in place, and I believe that is an S1, the regular homestead. We have another one, parcel 113531, that was approved for S5 for 2022, but it was not put into the system as approved. The paperwork was approved, it was put in the approved file, but someone just did not take it in the system. So we're going to put that back to S5, which is the veterans under 62. The other homesteads are the basic homestead, veterans under 62, L9 is 65 and older with low income, and LD is disability. Okay?
Question. The one that you just mentioned that was not approved in error, was that
Well, it was approved, it just was not put into the system as approved. So that when the notice went out, it went out.
okay? And I just wanted to make sure that that was a human error, not a system error.
No, it's a human error. Okay.
So just a quick question on that. Since it's already been approved, is that more just an administrator who's saying that it was already approved?
It was approved, yes.
So this is more now for just.
We just had to insert the box on it. All right. Any other questions on homestead?
And then this one, mailing address change, was that a change that we just incorrectly sent to the wrong address?
No.
It's something.
I believe that it was, you get the little notices back with the yellow sticker on it, but they changed their address. Even though they still live there, I think they changed it to maybe a PO box or something. So they still live at the house, but we had taken it to the
So everything more on the system.
That's all. Anything? Yep. Okay. The next is the commercial property digest changes. There are 6 parcels here, all banks, that when the reval, we hired a contractor to reval all the commercial properties. And they did several properties on income. And inadvertently, these banks were put onto income. And their values went really high, as you can see in the original notice value, from 1.8 million all the way up to $4.6 million. And somebody called, of course. We looked at it and noticed that, they were put onto income, but they should not have been put on income. It should have been on cost. My understanding is that a few did appeal, and we were going to correct those through the appeal. But we decided to go back and look at the others that were done in error and get those corrected. So we have 6 parcels here that went from about 1.8 million to 4.6, and we reduced them back to the cost value, which really brought them down to where they should be. So that was incorrect. So we corrected the ones that did not appeal, and then there are others that have appealed that we will correct through the appeal process.
Do you have an idea how many we're looking at this to be corrected to get good stuff?
Joey, do you know about how many of them we know?
We'll be about 3 days of it, 4.
3 of them.
4 I feel. Good question, You do, that's it, didn't I? Short and sweet.
Understand the motion to approve these items.
Make motion, we approve the items, as noted.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
Yeah, then it's not 100% today, but it's.
I'm coming with you this morning to present some conservation covenants. January 1st to April 1st is the time to apply for conservation, but just to make sure everyone is aware, the law also allows during that 45-day appeal period that you can apply for the covenant, or you can appeal or both. So we did have a few people come in during the 45-day period that requested to apply. The first one is 383523. Ms. Gundy, and she applied for timber on a vacant 20.38 acre tract. And with it being the new application for review, I recommend approve. The next one is parcel 82353, and it's also going to include 713531 and 713525. She had tried to file deeds and plats and paperwork to have these three tracts combined. Even it was not done correctly, so we could not do it for this year. She has been made aware of that. And so based on that, her application was for wildlife, and wildlife requires 10 acres. So based on the acreage on each one of these, they're all less than 10 acres separately, so they have to be a recommendation of denial for all three of these. And then the last one is parcel 121255, Barrington. She was in the covenant for wildlife. They've added a house, which is still under construction, and there is a continuation due to a change in ownership. She has added her husband to the property, so therefore we update the covenant application for the records to be correct. So I recommend approve on that one. And then the last thing I wanted to mention, we have parcels 19357 and 193,525 that are appealed to Superior Court for a breach, and that has been filed, and we now have a case number for those. So I just want to make you aware of that. And that's all I have.
You said no settlement for those who reached, but the owner has proceeded this appeal
Correct.
with the same Superior Court.
Yes, with Superior Court.
And I just want to add, I appreciate your explanation of each of these situations for our listening audience who may not be as adept to the rules, and regulations, and guidelines. So I just want to say that to you. And that's very helpful for everyone.
Yes. Yeah, I like for the public to be informed.
I entertain the motion to approve these items.
As we want to include the items as presented by staff with the noted recommendations.
Second.
The motion is second, any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Motion passed.
Thank you. People sick is
Yeah,
the move around all three days.
to the next would be news. And this is for the digest updates. You know, Bob, you should have received communication from the Department of Revenue Audit to say our ratios. So this is just an overview of the ratio. They would copy the chair on if they specify. So this is showing us our sales ratio numbers as of for the sales, the 2021 sales. So just an overview, our audit department, they use their samples and they do different audit with their samples. So as much as we submitted a sales ratio of 38.05 on residential, they came up with a ratio of using their samples. So it is telling us that we were a little bit too conservative with our ratio study, and also the coefficient of dispersion we are required to be within 15%. We were at 13%. We need to be tighter. So if the dispersion is tight, then the range would be within the range. So we were a little bit wayward this year. So our overall ratio came in at 7. So if you look at the first page, it's a breakout of each section. It's showing residential. We're looking at median values. 35 agricultural, 35 commercial, 40.12, and industrial 40. So with this breakdown, it's showing on page 2 that they gave us and I'm showing you both 2020 sales and 2021 sales. So 2020 we had a sales ratio of 38.72, and this year we're showing 37.06. So we did not exactly make a mark. Our aim is to be above 38 and above. The ratio required by the Department of Revenue is between 36 and 44. We are within the ratio we can collect on our digest. The implication for being below 38, it does not allow us to collect on 100% of our utilities, and they are the ones that bill utilities. So we're gonna get like 95% on the utilities. So there's gonna be a less collected on utilities for this year. So we need to have our ratios above 38 every year. And so going through is just showing the comparison with previous year and the current year. And the last couple of pages is showing what we submitted using our ratios with using all the sales. So we had a 38.05 ratio on residential. They are getting 35 using their samples. And we're showing the commercial ratio, and the overall ratio that we had was 38.31. So those were the numbers that were submitted to the board when we did ours using our numbers with all the sales, and Department of Revenue Audit came up with different numbers. So we need to learn from this and get a tighter number. This year was a rough year, but we'll be okay. Our digest increased 16%. So it's still a good year for Douglas County. The overall digest increased by 16%. And as of yesterday, we were showing 1,200 appeals, 1,210. The portal, online portal is working. We have about 200 appeals coming in via the online portal. We're showing 1,043 residential appeals. Until yesterday, we were showing 90 commercial appeals, 29 homestead, personal property 45, and 3 motor vehicle appeals. So As of yesterday, we were showing roughly 1,210 appeals. The deadline for appeals, residential and personal property was is today. It was yesterday. Yeah. So we, for commercial, it's on the 15th. So we're still in good stead. We had 1,500 appeals last year, and we have to date about 1,300. So we're looking fine as we speak. That's pretty much it where the digest is concerned. And Mr. Our AOB should have a copy of the overall records, but if you don't, I'll send the board so we can have an idea of what's happening. In my email? Yeah, I'm trying to.
I don't know if I ever got it. No, I'm sorry. Thanks, Kevin. I didn't know.
Send it to the board so you can see the overall picture. You can see what the other counties are doing. They actually send us the ratios for all the whole state. So so we can see what's happening in the state.
The question: are there any specific action steps that that we care to talk about here, just in regards making those? I don't want to say corrections, but adjustments.
Getting that ratio back close to them.
Yeah.
It's tighter numbers. It's about looking at our sales, and we need to be between 36 and 44. Ideally, we need to be above 38. 38.05 was kind of too close. We need to this is why the commercial properties. We did a revamp, so they were at 40 and above. The commercial numbers came in at 41. We revalued all those properties. So we need to be. So it's telling us that we need to. Our ratios need to be much higher. So if we aim for 38, if we fall below, it will hurt us. We need to aim for at least 40.
You mentioned at the top that sampling could be a sampling issue.
No, well, the Department of Revenue has different samples. We use all our sales for our ratios. They're using, so they can cherry pick. But if our dispersal, if the percentage, if we are within the range, if our low is at, let's say, 37 and our high is at 44, we will be fine. So we need to get a tighter for COD. If our COD is tighter below 10, we'll be fine. So it's mathematical. We can do it. And we have been doing it. Yeah.
Just what are some of the steps we're doing? I guess I want to get a little bit more tangible, and specific. Where are we going to get tighter? Or
so one of the things is like a question you asked, if we do the reevaluation and if we get tighter numbers, will the media come up? Those are some of the things. We this ratio of 35 is saying we need not reevaluate. It's saying our numbers should have been higher. So we weren't close enough to sales price. That's what it's saying. So we need to get closer to sales price. So we were too conservative. That's what. So we just need to be more aggressive with our revaluation, especially with residential.
With your all the staff and change over and addition, I think you've done real well.
I think so too. After the circumstances that we did this, but we were a little conservative. And that's what it is. That's all it is.
And I guess.
And also, I did not look at agriculture. Agriculture is different. If we had agriculture, we would have made the mark. So we need to look at agriculture every year.
I don't know if the value just reflects will affect the land, home values and sales and going to the curve next year or not. Well, it's something you like to work on. Sure.
I hope. But it's a dynamic market. Doing appraisal is dynamic. It changes with the market. And we need to change with it. But we need to be more aggressive with getting the values in the neighborhoods closer to what sales is. So if we, let's say, 40% is 100%. So if all properties sold for 200,000 and we were 199 or close to 200, that's 40%. But they say we're at 35. Yeah. So we just need to be more reckless, and that's it.
Is the new computer
The system
is trying to go well?
The system is up and running. We're going to be doing the digest submission using the new system. So yes, up and running. We still have teething things, but the good thing is it will be much more smooth to translating between us and the tax commissioner's office. We're on the same page. So in the past, I would roll the digest to downstairs. They have the digest. Yeah. So with that, I have some digest numbers that just for the chairman's signature, the consolidation sheet that was submitted that we're using this year. So but that's it for digest. If there are no questions, digest updates. That's pretty much it from me. Is there anything for statistics business for one here? And did we have update that? Anything?
I just mentioned that it is certified in court, the two functions.
So we have a meeting on it.
Okay. Okay, that's pretty much it from my end.
But that's it, and I guess the next order of business is just a date for next week.
Yeah.
Is the 25th, okay, August the 25th, okay. This is Thursday. August 25th? I mean, see, 25th, I'm sorry. I can tell you this, 25th. 2, 5. Then August 25th is the day of the next meeting. That's good for everybody.
August 25th is good. Remember to be there.
And if we need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I move we agree to adjourn this meeting.
Motion in a second, the meeting is currently adjourned.